You know what to do, Frank.
I really don't.
Drop it like it's hot. Yeah. Frank in the club, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for being a little bit late. Ran into some technical difficulties. Bit of a shorter live stream tonight. We're not going to get a chance to play some Jackbox, but we got a lot of really good things lined up here for the live stream. We are going to get to a couple of different movie drafts. We're going to have Matthew McConaughey, who has a birthday coming up. Mr. All right. He was born November 4th, 1969, so we're going to get to that. We're going to do a slasher movie draft. And as you'll notice, Big Lan, frozen right there. Actually, not here. It's just me and Frank today. Here, bump me some nuts.
You want to do the ET?
There you go. So it's just Frank and I tonight. So our third person doing the movie draft would be Mr. Donnie Odenkirk from Florida, who I worked with down there. So thank you, Donnie, for doing that stuff for me. And what else we got going on? We're going to do kind of a fact versus fiction on Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie that was released about 6 years ago. It was released in the United States November 11th, 2018. We're going to talk about War of the Worlds, the original broadcast. The anniversary, I believe, is today, October 30th, 1938. We're going to get to some things that you might not know, like the fact that it really didn't cause the mass panic that most people believe that it did. So we're going to get to that. And I need everybody to pay very special attention because Frank is going to be controlling that segment. He will be going through. He will be presenting it. He will be the one giving you the information of the War of the Worlds.
It's not going to go well.
It's going to go just fine. We're also going to talk about Monsters, Inc., smoothly transition into American History X, because if there's two movies that are directly related, it's Monsters, Inc. and American History X. And then we're going to get some Thor Ragnarok in as well. Now, I'm also adding in some Sporkle quizzes. I'm kind of Sporkle quizzes. I'm adding that kind of cog into the live streams here at this point because I think it's a fun way to kind of test the knowledge on some of the topics that we're going to be talking about. So some of the things that we'll be doing, we're going to do. There is a Bohemian Rhapsody. They call it a clicky-okie, so that we essentially have to click through the lyrics and choose which lyrics come up next for Bohemian Rhapsody. We're going to do a Pixar movies quiz. So here's another thing too. So I go through anniversaries of things when we're trying to figure out the topics that we're going to be discussing on the show. And one of the things that popped up was that Apple Jacks actually was trademarked. I don't even remember what the date is. I already deleted the damn thing. But it's celebrating an anniversary. So I started to look into Sporkle quizzes, and there's a cereal mascot quiz. I specifically did not look up exactly the answers to some of these because I want to see who really knows some of these cereal mascots. So Frank and I are going to play it in the YouTube chat. You guys are more than welcome to join along. Bugsta, a.k.a. Javi, what's up, buddy? Scuba Steve here. Vero's here. Anna's here. I know Donnie's here as well. Might not be in the YouTube chat, but Donnie is watching, so hello, Donnie.
The rest of the new kids on the block.
Make sure that you guys are liking and subscribing down there. We're also going to do since we're talking about Thor Ragnarok, we're going to do a Marvel Phase 1 movies quiz, where it'll tell us how many letters are in the title, and then we have to guess the movie. And we got to get that one in 60 seconds. Frank is very confident about that one, by the way.
There were a lot of Phase 1 movies.
Very.
Like, what, 5?
No, there was like a dozen.
Whatever. That was close.
It's still not the 50 that they have out now, but as we kick off
27.
Every live stream, we go through the old YouTube polls. You can find those over on my YouTube channel at The Real Brandalorian. And if you're on my page, at the top, you'll see home and videos and shorts and live and blah, blah, blah. And it might say something different for you. It could say posts. It could also say community. Either way, this is where you can find these. You can go in. I put one up every day. You can vote on them. Also, if there's ever a poll that you have a suggestion for, like if you have the question with the potential answers, send that to me. I'll put it up on YouTube and we'll talk about it on the next live stream. You can hit me up on Facebook. You can hit me up on Instagram. Facebook is almost preferred because right now I just get hate mail on Facebook. It's all people it's all people telling me how shitty my videos are and how I need to get a life and grow up. Oh, and by the way, get a real job.
Get a real job.
Because apparently people don't realize I have a real job that I love, working in IT.
Get a real
Also,
job.
Javi became a member of the channel last week. So Javi sent me his address, and he's going to get himself one of these fancy sticker packs. You got the history of rock. You have the real Brandalorian, and then you also have, of course, the cross-eyed bear right there. See that one? I still got to get some of these down to Frank before tonight's up. Frank,
About
before we
$6.
log off, let me know what your address is, and I'll send it down there too.
666 Hells Highway.
Tallahassee. All right. I'm trying to think of how far back to go. I always get confused here. But I think the first
Way
YouTube
back.
poll is going to be, what is the best John Wick movie?
Mm.
So we talked about John Wick last week, right?
We did. The Wickster.
Oh, by the way, Javi, die-hard cowboy fan.
Oh, man. Hey.
He just wrote "No way, damn haters," and he's talking about the people who are messaging me on Facebook. But it just reminded me that he gets a lot of heat for being a diehard Cowboys fan. I got to hang out at Hobby a couple times down here. So anyway, what is the best John Wick movie, Frank? Is it John Wick? Is it Chapter 2 or Chapter 3 or Chapter 4? What do you think won the poll?
Again, I'm going with the first one because there was just no real build up to it. It was, came out of nowhere. I like that. It was number one.
Yeah, 64% of the people voted.
Organic.
I saw John Wick 1. I was kind of falling asleep through a lot of it, so I don't really remember it. And I started John Wick 2. Like, there's a lot of things on my list of things that I need to be watching right now. I want to watch all of the John Wick series. Because even that new one with Ana de Armas looks really good. Ballerina. That one looks pretty dope.
And the Godfathers, you want to watch those?
No, I don't. I do not at all. I do not want to watch The Godfathers. We need to wrap up Only Murders in the Building. We got the final episode of that finally out. And then my wife and I, we're going to start watching Bad Monkey, and we're going to start watching Shrinking. So there you go. I see Donnie says that each John Wick movie gets better than the one before.
There you go.
So we'll have to get to that here coming up. All right, so the next one, here's a random poll that I put up. And I even put this up as a post, which, by the way, on Instagram and Facebook, you can follow me at The Real Brandalorian. Which is the better band, Creed or Nickelback? Who do you think won the poll, Frank?
I mean, I'd go with Creed. That's just my personal choice. Nickelback had their deal. I wasn't a big Nickelback guy.
All right, so you're going with Creed?
Yep.
You are correct, sir. Creed, 61% of the vote. And it was funny because there's a lot of people who put in the comment section on my post on Instagram and Facebook, none, both suck. And I'm like, that's kind of the point. Like,
you guys are douches.
That's what I was getting at, is the fact, they both huge, sold millions and millions and millions and millions of records. They were everywhere. And then when you get that big, people start to hate on you. So, of course, both bands ended up getting the hate. And then they're kind of like, you can even throw Limp Bizkit into this category, like getting kind of that resurgence a little bit. So,
well, Nickelback and Creed were that, radio friendly stuff. So they'd get more of their stuff played a lot because it was just, I don't know, I guess it was better than, Fuck You Like an Animal from Nine Inch Nails being played on the radio.
We had to stop playing that when I was in Florida. For a while, even the edited version, we weren't allowed to play that song on the air. All right, next YouTube poll. What is Julia Roberts' best movie? We did a Julia Roberts movie draft last week. The 4 options I put up there were Aaron Brockovich, Pretty Woman, Sleeping with the Enemy, and Notting Hill.
So everybody went with Pretty Woman. I guess those were Pretty Woman.
See, look, you get no competition, and all of a sudden you knock it out of the park.
Play the odds.
Yeah, 70% of the people voted for Pretty Woman. Ooh, here's a good one for you. So this one falling right in line with Halloween being tomorrow, which, by the way, I bought another costume. I got a boatload of costumes now. There was one that I did. I was Billy Butcherson from Hocus Pocus. I have my I have my Ric Flair costume. I have my Jafar costume that I wore last year, which my wife and I think we took 2nd or 3rd in a costume contest at a bar last year. We were pretty hammered. It was great. But this year, my niece and nephew They're going as Jack Skellington and Sally from A Nightmare Before Christmas. And I asked them, what should I go as? And like a month ago, they were like, a vampire. And I was like, cool. I'll just wear like that old thing that I wore for Billy Butcherson, and I'll wear some fangs. But then I asked them again this past weekend, and they were like, Oogie Boogie. And I'm like,
Yep.
all right, fine. So I got an Oogie Boogie costume. We're going trick-or-treating with them tomorrow.
You have gummy worms, have them coming out your mouth, like as if you're falling
Well,
apart.
here's the problem. So I put the costume on, and you can put the hood on, but you can't see outside the hood. There's no eye holes.
It's got no holes.
It ain't got no holes. All right, here we go. So in the theme of Halloween, what TV show has the best Halloween episodes? Now, notice I left The Simpsons off.
Yep.
Frank and I were just talking about this because Frank was watching something, I think, from Looper, you said, where they rank
I think it was Looper.
All the best Treehouse of Horror episodes, and he said that only one past like the mid-90s made it, and that was 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the one where they had Pierce Brosnan play the automated house, which was a damn good one. Other than that, they're all from like 91 to 95 are the best ones.
Pretty much, yeah.
So the 4 options I put up there in regards to TV shows with the best Halloween episodes: Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Community, Roseanne, and The Office. What do you think won the poll?
Seeing as the other 3 I've never seen, I go with Roseanne because even as a kid, those Roseanne episodes kind of freaked me out. And I hated it when they stopped doing their Halloween episodes because they were great for like at least the first 4 years. And then they just kind of stopped doing them. I love the one where they have the guy, have John and the other guy pretend that they're gay. And then the episode ends.
Martin Mull.
Yeah, and then the episode ends.
I'm sorry. It wasn't Martin Mull. It was Jackie's husband.
Yeah. And then the episode ends with Roseanne dressed as Prince blowing up like the house with a thing of dynamite.
That one was just I just watched the end of that one a couple of nights ago. So yeah, Roseanne good, not winning the poll. However, 23% of people voted for Roseanne. 46% voted for Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Never saw that show. Never got into it for whatever reason.
A damn good show. I think the first 4 or 5 seasons are on Netflix. And one of the things that they did with their Halloween episodes is they became heist episodes.
Okay.
And it was really, really well done. Super underrated, I think, is Community. Community has brilliant Halloween episodes. And I only got 9%.
That was Andre, was it Brower that was in that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and he died, what, like about 2 years ago?
No, it was just it was within the past like 6-7 months.
I loved him on Homicide: Life on the Street. That was a great show.
Homicide?
Life on the Street, baby.
You mean Homicide?
Late 90s. Homicide.
So yeah, Mr. PhD says Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a killer show. It's one of our go-tos as a family. We've already seen it all, but it's a very well written show, acted show, comedic show, timing, everything is very well done. All right, next YouTube poll. Who was America's sweetheart in the 90s? Was it Julia Roberts or Sandra Bullock?
I go with Julia Roberts. I had a crush on her at that time. So.
Not Sandra Bullock?
Well, I mean, when Sandra was beginning her like slow climb, Julia Roberts like skyrocketed at that time.
Well, I think that like if you're looking at a timeline, Julia Roberts obviously hit first, and then there was some overlap.
But I still think it was like you still had like Julia Roberts. It was insane the coverage of her. Like everybody talking about who she was dating and ended up with Lyle Lovett, the guy that looked like he fell down in a puddle for some reason.
Looked like he fell down in a puddle?
Yeah,
you talking about his hair? All right, so you're going Julia Roberts?
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock. Close,
Stupid
though.
Kids.
57% of the vote went to Sandra Bullock.
I love you, Julia.
All right, here's another Halloween,
too, so.
kind of a Halloween-related YouTube poll. What age should kids stop trick-or-treating? 11?
We stop?
11, 12, 13, or 14?
Honestly, I think 14's probably the cutoff. After that, it gets a little weird. I will say this, though. There was one year, I think it was like the last year, and it probably was around when I was 14. I decided I was too old to do it, but some of my friends in the neighborhood were still at it. Like, they were like 10 years, 10, 11 years old, and they were still doing it. And me and this other guy my age, we didn't have costumes, so we just cut out the front of a cereal box and taped it to our shirt, and we went around as serial killers.
Oh my God. That was one of the costumes that we did for the morning show I was on. There's a big Halloween parade every year. And for the Halloween parade, we were always kind of one of the big marquee floats. And we went as serial killers. It was one of the worst ideas we had because you couldn't really tell what we are when we're in the back of a flatbed truck.
Yeah, I remember one woman, when I opened the door, she looked at us and was like, "Where's your costumes?" And she only gave us like one piece of candy.
I remember
was so unimpressed.
So Scuba Steve says 12. Donnie says last time that he dressed up was 14. And 14 actually is the cutoff. Most people said 58% of the vote went to that. Also, Donnie's cluing us in. Andre Brower passed away almost a year ago, December 11th, 2023. I remember going out trick-or-treating. Might have been 14. It might have been the cutoff. And my buddy Scott and I were just bored on Halloween night. And so we decided, like, what are we going to do? So we wanted to go trick-or-treating. My sister was a cheerleader. So we went and we put on full makeup and went out as cheerleaders.
There you go. He was a trendsetter before it was a trend.
Yeah, baby. Tuck it back, bro. All right. What's the best comedy horror movie of all time? That's the last YouTube poll. Is it Tucker and Dale versus Evil, Shaun of the Dead, Scary Movie 2, or What We Do in the Shadows?
I'm going with Tucker and Dale. I still think that's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I personally would do the same, so I'll give you a point for that. But the actual poll went to Shaun of the Dead. 53% of people voted for Shaun of the Dead. Scary Movie 2 coming in second. Tucker and Dale coming in third. What We Do in the Shadows only getting 6% of the vote. I'm telling you.
But I think those last two, a lot of people aren't aware of, because I know some people that didn't even know What We Do in the Shadows was a movie before the series. They thought it was just a series.
That's just stupidity. You guys got to be paying attention to what the hell you're doing, man.
I think those last two movies are just kind of still unknown.
People definitely need to go check them out. You absolutely need to go check them out. We're going to do a
Netflix.
We weren't going to do a Matthew McConaughey, right? No.
Matthew.
No, but we are going to move on to the.
I keep getting older, and they stay at the
same age. All right, man. Yeah,
that was kind of creepy, honestly, when you look back.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that were creepy back then. All right, let me shift here.
Fighters.
See, even Dr. PhD says Tucker and Dale is scientifically the correct answer. A doctor is telling us that, so I'm not going to argue with you. I think that sounds perfect to me. All right, it's movie draft time. First one for tonight. Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey, born November 4th, 1969, and our guest voter, or picker, whatever you want to call him, Donnie. He sent me his list. Picker? I specifically tried to not look at his list. However, in an upcoming movie draft where we're doing the slasher movies, there is one that I had to, like, I looked and I saw a movie where I'm like, I got to get the poster for that one. So we are going to start off with Donnie. And his first choice for Matthew McConaughey movies is Interstellar. Edit your images using AI. I love it when they throw crap like that on there. All right, so let me go ahead and get this ready. All right, Frank, what is going to be your first Matthew McConaughey movie?
I'm gonna I don't know if it'll be a downer or whatever. I'm gonna go with The Time to Kill.
Oh, you son of a bitch! That was gonna be my number one pick.
Yes, I stole it.
I freaking love that movie. That is such a good movie.
That's probably one of his best earlier ones.
Yeah, if you have not seen A Time to Kill, go watch it. I mean, obviously you got Matthew McConaughey, Samuel L. Jackson, Sandra Bullock. I always forget Kevin Spacey's in there.
What did kind of like a slight remake of To Kill a Mockingbird? Well,
I mean, it was based on the book, so it was based on the book by John Grisham. Isn't that who wrote that? If I got that wrong, let me know in the comments, by the way. Also, make sure you guys are liking.
Michael Crichton, somebody.
Michael Crichton, somebody, whoever they are. All right, so now I need to go through, and I got to pick mine. You already stole my number one. So I am going to go little high school there. We're going to do a little Dazed and Confused, ladies and gentlemen.
You know The American flag was made from hemp, man.
Dude, that movie is an absolute trip. I remember one of the funniest things that we
You
found
could smoke it.
in that movie was the soul pole. That dude's paddle.
I like the fact that Ben
was
Affleck
great.
broke his ankle while
Oh,
in
when he
one
was
of those
running?
scenes.
Yeah, when he was
No,
running.
when he was going back to his car, you can actually see when he does it, like he rolls his ankle on on a piece of pavement as he's swinging the paddle, and it rolls like he broke his, because you can kind of see him gingerly stepping and like hobble to his car, and he broke his ankle right then and there on camera.
All right. My next choice going to be the one that I believe he won an Oscar for. Dallas Buyers Club. It's a great movie, and he did a fantastic job in it.
He lost a lot of weight for that.
He
too.
did. All right.
He had a good run
did,
at that time too.
Did they wait? I was gonna say, did he and Leto win? Let me know in
Yeah,
the comments.
both of them won that year. Yeah,
let
both
us
of them.
know.
Both of them. Yeah, both.
They
of
did
them
both win.
won.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Frank. What's gonna be your second Matthew McConaughey movie?
I gotta find it. It's the Lincoln Lawyer.
Lincoln
I think
Logs.
The Lincoln. The
Love Lincoln
Lawyer.
Logs. Lincoln Logs are fantastic. All right.
Yeah. That is a great. That was at that time when he was beginning to spit some of them out before phrasing before before he won his Oscar. Like he had that run, and this is one that kind of flew under the radar. But that's a great movie.
All right, man. All right, now we're going back to Donnie's list, and we will choose the next movies that he has in there. And the next one, he gets a second choice. Donnie going with Contact.
I fell asleep in that movie in the theaters. That's the only movie I
Really?
ever fell asleep to. Yeah, I've passed out in the middle of that movie.
All right, and Donnie's third movie. Oh snap! Here we go. Donnie gets basically. Donnie, you got all your top 3 picks, man.
Good job, Donnie.
Because his third pick is. I know I got
Rain
it
and
here.
Fire?
Failure to Launch.
I wondered when one of his 12 million rom-coms would show up.
How to
That's
Lose a
the one
Guy in
where-
10 Days.
Is that the one where Terry Bradshaw plays his dad?
Uh.
I believe so. Like, yeah, like he's living at home.
Yeah,
and
right
his
there. You can
dad
see
is-
Terry Bradshaw, Kathy Bates,
Did you-
Bradley Cooper.
You hear this? You hear the story about the scene where Bradshaw walks in naked? So there's the scene where like Bradshaw's walking around his house naked, and
naked.
like
I like how it's naked.
it's naked, and Matthew McConaughey's character's like, oh crap, and Terry tells a story where they gave him they had like 3 socks for him to put over his junk when he walks out, and he said one was very small and one was really large, and he's like, well, I'm not going to get the small one because then everybody will just laugh because it's a small sock. He goes, I'm not going to get the long one because then nobody will leave it. So he goes, he decides to go with the middle one, but right before he goes out to it, he's like, you know what, screw it, and he takes his sock off and he walks out just butt ass naked, and Matt McConaughey did not know, and his reaction in the movie is him just full
It's the real
Bradshaw
reaction.
wang. Yeah, it's the full wang.
All right, the full Bradshaw. All right, what is your third choice for your Matthew McConaughey movie draft?
Oh man, there's a few I wanted to go to.
Gotta get one.
I'm gonna go with Amistad.
Oh, all right.
That was a good kind of introduction to
It's a
him.
feel-good movie, right?
He plays a
Heartwarming.
lot of lawyers.
He
the more I
does.
think about it. Holy crap!
He does play a lot of lawyers. All right, and then I'll go my third and final pick.
Fool's Gold? Surfer
Not,
dude.
not gonna go with Fool's Gold. Not gonna go with Surfer Dude. By the way, that I think it had like a 1% on Rotten Tomatoes or something.
I'm
like
sure.
that.
I think he just got high and recorded himself surfing everywhere.
That's definitely a possibility. Some other honorable mentions,
I
actually.
got an idea.
I was possibly gonna go Wolf of Wall Street just because of the that whole scene. Of course, he was also in Tropic Thunder.
Right. That thing's been picked so many times by us. I think
Yeah.
it passed.
Two
That's
for
a
the
good
money.
movie. That's a good movie.
Sing. This was one my kid watched all the time back in the day.
Oh, damn.
All the
You
time.
going with Magic Mike?
No, I am not going with Magic Mike. I am actually going to go with The Gentleman.
See, that was one that I remember the trailer for it, and then it just disappeared, and I don't know what happened to it.
Good
but-
movie. Check it out. And then because they have the television show on Netflix, which
Yeah.
again, I got like 3 episodes in, I was enjoying it, and then I have like ADD when it comes to
Yep.
TV shows and stuff.
Everything.
And I would be remiss if we did not bring up Tiptoes.
Tiptoes?
Have you
What
never
the
heard about
liv-
this?
That looks like a fake movie.
Oh, dude. So the only reason I think anybody really
an
knows about this
Arquette?
movie is from Daniel Tosh, because he covered it on Tosh.0, and he would do a segment called Spoiler Alerts, where he would literally just spoil bad movies for you so you don't have to go see them. Now, the segment on the show would be maybe like 90 seconds to 2 minutes. He would go like, I want to say you used to be able to find the full spoiler alert for Tiptoes, and like other ones that he did were I think Orphan and Human Centipede, and they would
Who's
range.
the guy with the big head?
Huh? Oh, hold on,
The guy with the big head.
hold on.
Hold on.
I'm getting there. So the spoiler alerts would last 20 to 40 minutes. And so when he starts talking about Tiptoes, there's a trailer for it that you have to see, because in the trailer, it makes it seem like it's just this massive, just amazing, Oscar-worthy movie. It's going to be at Sundance, and it's it's going to score all of these awards. And in a role of a lifetime,
Oh,
Gary Oldman.
That's Gary Oldman.
That's Gary Oldman.
the guy with the orange-sized head from I Married an Axe Murderer.
So listen. So the whole movie is about, it's Matthew McConaughey, and he is dating or engaged to Kate Beckinsale.
By the way, have you seen what she looks like recently?
Yes.
She's had some
Ooh.
stuff done,
Ooh.
and it looks bad.
Oh
I
yeah,
wish she would've said
because
that.
my wife knows that I've always had like a huge thing for her, and my wife was
Yeah,
flipping through her phone, and she goes, "That's her, like that's who your crush
I-
is," and I'm like, apparently
I
not
hate
anymore.
when actresses do that. She's naturally beautiful and just wrecked herself.
So the premise of the movie,
Spoilers.
they're dating, and Gary
Aid.
Oldman is a little person.
Oh no! Wait, I remember that. I do. I know. I remember.
And the way that Tosh brings it up
'Cause he
is
was
he's
on
like,
his knees.
yeah. So for what they did is they told him to like just like tuck your arms back, like just kind of tuck them back, and then they'll put fake little legs in front of him when he's sitting down and stuff. And I'm not going to try to do the whole spoiler alert, because there's no way that I could A, do it justice, or B, do it anywhere near as good as Daniel Tosh would do it. Unfortunately, I wish that whole thing was online still. If you know anybody that knows where it is, let me know. And also, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. But yeah, so this Tiptoes, just go watch the trailer. That's all you need. Just go watch the trailer. Oh, Peter Dinklage is in it. David Alan Grier.
It
Yeah,
had like an ensemble cast, if I remember right.
kinda. And you had Patricia Arquette. That is
called it
Patricia Arquette,
Tiptoes.
isn't it?
They
It's one of
called
the
it
Arquettes.
tiptoes because they had small people in it, and when they walked, it sounded like little tiptoes.
Oh, good Lord.
Handsome.
Jesus Christ. Leave it to Frank, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now it's time that we got to smooth transition now.
You think Peter Dinklage had an issue with that, like he did with the new?
Oh,
Snow
with the
White
new
movie
Snow White and the Seven
coming
Dwarfs?
out? Yeah, had a problem with.
I remember all these people in the Little People community coming out and yelling at him, kind of being like, dude, you take all
Yeah.
the fucking roles anyway.
Yeah.
Like, leave some for us.
Oh man.
Things you did not know. We're rolling right into Bohemian Rhapsody. And this one, we're
Ooh,
kind of doing
Bohemian.
a fact versus fiction in regards to Bohemian Rhapsody. It was released in the United States on November 11th, 2018. Now, coming up at the end of this Things You Didn't Know, Frank and I are going to do a quiz on the lyrics to the song Bohemian Rhapsody. But first, the movie made $910.8 million at the box office on a budget of $50 to $58 million. And it was kind of raked, you say raked over the coals, dragged through the mud, whatever you want to call it, where the historical facts in the movie are really complete garbage. Like, it's not even close. It's very, very loosely based on Queen. Now, here you go. For example, the formation of the band It was not as simple as the movie made it out to be. Freddie didn't just happen to meet the band after Tim Staffel, the drummer and vocalist, quit. Mercury is actually friends with Staffel and had been begging to join the band for a while. Now, the movie also claims that John Deacon, like it shows him on bass at the first Queen concert in 1970. Well, he was the fourth bassist for the band, and he didn't join until 1971.
That's the kid from Jurassic Park.
That is the kid from Jurassic Park. He was also in, remember, The Pacific.
Yep.
The
Did a good job in them. Did a good job in that
He
series.
did good. I wasn't like and it might just be because I really, really, really love Band of Brothers. Like that's one of the greatest television miniseries.
Well, it was
of all
done
time.
better too. Plus, Malik was also in the Pacific. Him and Sledgehammer hang out. Remember, because they gave Sledgehammer his name.
Oh, that's right.
They knew each other before Queen.
I forgot about
They didn't
that.
put that in the movie.
They did not. They left that out. So Freddie, he didn't meet Mary Austin the same night that he met the band. Like they just took a bunch of stories and made it seem like they all happened at one time. Mary had actually dated Brian May before all of this, and she didn't come into Freddie's life until after he was already the lead singer of the band.
Okay.
Now, there also was no record exec named Ray Foster, who was portrayed by, remember who played that? You remember who that is, right?
Yeah, Mike Myers.
It was Mike Myers. So he's loosely based on EMI chief Roy Featherstone, although Featherstone was actually a big fan of Queen. The one part that they did get right was that Featherstone believed Bohemian Rhapsody was too long to be a single. Remember, that was kind of one of the big contesting points there.
It's 8 minutes long.
Freddie did not meet his boyfriend, Jim Hutton, while he was drunk after a party. That didn't happen. And this is obviously not from the movie. This is from real life. Hutton was a hairdresser who worked at the Savoy Hotel, and the two met at a nightclub.
Okay.
Another thing that the movie embellishes is the fact the band never actually broke up. By the way, tell me how much the dude from Jurassic Park looks like John Deacon.
No, I was gonna say like they did a good
Like-
job casting him and the lead guitarist. Like both the guys looked almost
All of them.
like
Brian May looked exactly
They
like
did a good
Brian
job.
May. Like they did such a good
That's
job
like
of casting this movie
the
and
only thing they did good.
everything, and everything else. So the band never actually broke up. In the movie, it was Mercury telling the band that he had signed a solo record and everybody goes their separate ways and they're upset. But in reality, by 1983, everybody was kind of ready for a break because they'd been on the road for a decade straight. But they began working on The Works, their album, in late 1983, and they never actually stopped talking to each other. Like that,
There you go.
that kind of stuff never happened. And all of this, of course, leads to how the movie just crammed all of those other storylines at the end to make it seem like they all happened within like a 48-hour timeline. And since the band never broke up, Live Aid was not a reunion, the way that they kind of make it seem. The movie says they hadn't spoken in years and that Live Aid was offered up, and so then there was a reunion. No, the band released their album The Works in 1984. They even toured the world promoting it. The last show that they had done to support that album was only 8 weeks prior to Live Aid. So there was not this huge gap like they made it seem to be in the movie. And finally, it's not known exactly when Freddie first found out that he tested positive for HIV. The movie basically shoves this storyline into the same time frame where he reunites with the band, he reconciles with his parents, he introduces his boyfriend to his parents, he realizes that he has HIV, he announces he has HIV. Like it's hey, this all happened at one time. No.
Hey, you had to get it all together.
Yeah.
2-hour movie.
So, but if I remember correctly, wasn't it Bryan Singer that did this? And he was going through some legal stuff at the time about being a complete creep. Wasn't that him?
Yeah, I think so. I believe so.
And so you can kind of see why they ultimately sort of just were like, screw it, just release it.
Just get it all together.
Yeah, it was Bryan Singer. That was the one behind that. And so even though it's not necessarily known, it's believed that Freddie, he didn't find out that he was HIV positive until about 1986, 1987. Now, when
Malik's wearing a headpiece there.
huh?
Think Malik's wearing a hairpiece there?
Do I think he is?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what he looks like
very,
normally.
looks very hairpiece-ish.
Yeah, could be. I mean, he has prosthetic teeth.
Yeah, and that mustache doesn't look too real either.
So when we went to go see the movie in the theater, we went to Alamo Drafthouse, and there's a bar in the front of Alamo Drafthouse. And when we were leaving, having seen the movie, they were doing Queen karaoke. It was amazing.
Jesus.
And it was one of those moments because my wife was brave enough to go up and sing Don't Stop Me Now
All right.
in front of everybody. And as I'm watching her, I'm like, yes, like that right there is why she's the woman I'm going to spend the rest of my life with.
There you go.
It was
Did
brilliant.
anybody stop her, or did they let her keep going?
Oh, she went the whole thing, man. Did the whole kit and caboodle. All right. Frank, are you ready for our first Sporkle quiz?
Ooh, we like the sporks.
Yeah. By the way, I do apologize for the you can see my
Wikioki.
bookmarks up there.
Any porn?
No. What do we have here? We have tabletop audio. We got Peacock. That's a link to my wife and I. That's our wedding stuff.
Peacock.
Hulu, Apple TV. Oh, on this date, this is where I go to get most of my stuff,
There you
like
go.
the actual information. So, anyway, we have this Bohemian Rhapsody quiz. Let me see here. 1 second.
The Virgin Mary.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. While we do this, make sure you like and subscribe.
Madala of Scotland.
Because the whole point, I wanted to make, I wanted more space on the screen, so I wanted to get rid of the bookmarks. What the hell are you talking about?
They were putting the women up on there and showing their name. This little Welsh English
Oh, there we
guy
go.
looks like he'd fall over if you flick him.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, this dude?
Just, yeah, he's a little skinny guy. Look, he's all neck.
This is
no
what we should
shoulders.
do. We should, when we bring up Sporkle, we should have Frank, like, narrate whatever ad is on the screen.
This guy's saying. He's saying, look at my dick right now.
All right, here we go. All right, so the way that this one's going to work, this is, can you pick the following words to the Queen song Bohemian Rhapsody? So this is going to really test. And I've tried to tell people, if you want the ultimate, or I should say, one of the ultimate karaoke songs or songs that will get people singing along, Bohemian Rhapsody is certainly one of them. Are we going to have 4 minutes to do this, Frank?
Oh,
Are
yeah.
you ready?
Sure, why not?
Play quiz. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide.
No escape from reality. Right there.
Okay.
Here, right
Open your eyes.
there. Look up to the skies and say,
I'm just a poor boy.
oh, yep, I need no sympathy.
Because I'm easy come, easy go.
Will you let me go?
Easy come,
There it is.
easy go.
Will
That's-
you let me go?
I don't think that's it.
Yeah.
No, see, that's not it.
It's not? Easy
No!
Come, easy go.
Easy come.
Is it
easy
anyway?
go.
Oh, it was any way the wind blows? Okay. Now I'm lost.
Well, we already screwed the pooch on this, man.
Yeah, I know, but because it went to any way the wind blows.
It's a little high, little low. Oh, I thought it was a little high.
No.
Little high, little
Mama
low.
just killed a man.
Not yet. Now, see, you're jumping ahead, dude.
No, but it has it up there. See? It has it up there.
I jumped to the next. Oh, shit.
yeah,
Put
it
a gun
pushes
against
it
his head.
when we get it wrong. Yeah, when
Pulled
we get
my
it wrong,
trigger,
it
now
pushes-
he's dead.
Now he's dead. Yeah.
Where's the end? Life has just begun.
Now I've gone and thrown it all away.
Where's N? Would it be and?
Yeah, it might be and.
But now I've gone throw it away.
But I've gone and thrown it away.
Mama! Ooh! Anyway, the wind blows,
Did it
right?
make me cry?
Isn't it? Yeah. Nope. Wow, I really don't know this song. If I'm not back again this time
okay.
tomorrow.
Carry on, carry on. Carry on, carry on.
Too late, my time has come. Didn't mean to make you cry. Nope, shit.
Nope. Body's aching all the time.
Wow, I'm really butchering this song.
That's probably didn't mean to make you cry, right? Body's aching all the time.
Nope.
Nope. Gotta leave you all behind. Goodbye.
God damn it. Just keep clicking.
Mama.
Didn't mean to make you cry as much as I can.
Blows.
Anyway, the wind
It
blows.
doesn't really matter to me. at that point?
Nope.
Nope. So I sometimes wish.
Wow. This is definitely harder when you're not listening to the song.
I sometimes wish. Goodbye, everybody. I've got now. Sometimes wish. I don't know, dude. Just click on something. Oh, I'd never been born at all.
Oh, there you go. I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening. Me, Galileo, Galileo, Figaro Magnifico. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. Where's that at?
He's just a poor boy from a poor family. Spare him his life from his monstrosity.
From. Easy come, easy go.
Will you let me go? Bismillah. No, we will not let you go. Let me go.
Let him go. Bismillah, we will not let you go.
Let him go.
Am I not seeing that?
Will not let him go. Let him. Oh, wait a minute. No. Maybe we got to that point already.
Nope.
Oh, it was right there. Oh my God, it was there. Now it's no, right?
Yes.
Mamma mia, mamma mia,
Mamma mia, let me go.
Beelzebub.
Start to rock head vigorously if you wish. Oh, we're not going to get this in time, man.
Yeah. I thought we were going to get to the Wayne's World part. It's Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me.
Damn. We got a 59 on that.
I think I skip a lot of words when I sing that song.
Not so easy when you're not looking at it, man, or you're not listening to it. Interesting.
19 out of 32.
All right, where are we at here?
We are at Earth.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the first time that Franklin Jonathan Sharples takes control of things you did not know. And we are talking about War of the Worlds. The original broadcast was on October 30th, 1938, and it was over the CBS radio network. Frank, take it away.
Do you want me to read it from how I gave it to you the first
Well, what
time,
I wanted you to, the whole point, like, you write it and then you present it. Like, you present it as you kind of see me do it, where you talk about the subject.
Okay. So we are talking about War of the Worlds. 38?
Uh-huh.
All right. So, see, but I don't know how you want me to start this, because I think when I sent it to you, it was like in different order. So I'm not sure exactly how you want me to prevent it.
I just copied and pasted in the exact order you sent it to me.
All right, then we'll just go from there. Starting over.
No. You don't get a start over, but we do get a like and subscribe while we're doing this.
Reset button. All right. The War of the Worlds wasn't the only trouble Mr. Wells got in with this production.
Who is Mr. Wells?
About a year before. Mr. Wells, Orson Welles.
Okay.
About a year before, Orson was getting there. Orson had demanded the character of Brutus in his production of Julius Caesar use a real dagger instead of a fake one, which resulted in a non-life-threatening wound to the unfortunate actor, Joseph Holland, who was playing Caesar. Who would have thought that? Hey,
they basically stabbed him. Orson Welles wanted a real knife, and he
was a method actor. I mean,
he
wanted to see some real blood. I mean, none of that fake crap. Orson Welles' stunt, the broadcast version, was influenced by a lesser-known radio-induced panic that happened in England in 1926. A radio show hosted by Reverend Father Ronald Knox, a Catholic priest. Yeah, way to go, Reverend. He reenacted a realistic worker riot in London. And I remember reading about this. He went into like making it seem like the cops were getting involved, and the rioters were just tearing up London to the point it freaked people out in London. So that was the inspiration for Orson Welles and his War of the Worlds broadcast. Thank you, Reverend. The broadcast was presented without commercial interruptions. right? That's where, yeah. The Mercury Theater on the I gotta start that over. I completely spilled my tongue. The broadcast was presented without commercial interruptions. The Mercury Theater on the air's lack of commercial interruption. That's written horribly. Interruptions made the
You wrote
broadcast
it!
seem more. I didn't write it. I copied and pasted.
Oh, Jesus. God. Well, okay, so the whole point. Okay. So for anybody watching, the whole point here, Frank, is that you take the information, you rewrite it so that it comes off the way that you would say it.
I wrote this.
Okay.
So yeah, so the theater it had no commercials. So there weren't any sponsors because it was just radio at that time, was whatever. So it seemed more realistic because they didn't break in to go with a Coke commercial with cocaine in it, or whatever all the kids were hopped up on at that time.
All right. Everybody in the chat, this is where I need your guys' assistance. I want either a thumbs up if you think Frank did great on his first presentation. I want a thumbs down if you think that he sucked.
Hey, I'm gonna go with a thumbs down because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Or, I mean, the thumbs down could also just be needs work. Let me know.
No, this is needs work.
Okay. Well, give me that stuff in the chat. Let me know. Because there is one other fact about this, and I just put a short out about War of the Worlds, and it's the fact that, at least growing up, and even until recently, a lot of people think that it caused this mass panic. Like
That's what we were led to believe.
This broadcast of an alien invasion, people thought it was real. It caused these just massive panic across the entire country. The reality is that's not what happened. Yes, we have these newspapers saying like radio play terrifies nation. This other one said, radio fake scares nation. Well, newspapers and radio stations were going head to head for advertising dollars at this time. And so the radio stations, when they got wind of what had happened, they over embellished what actually happened in regards to a panic to make the radio stations look bad. They surveyed people back then to ask them what they were tuned into. Only 2% of people said that they were even remotely listening to something like War of the Worlds. Everybody was tuned into Edgar Bergen's variety show. That's what they were tuning into.
I do know there was one small town, though, that actually did get freaked out and panicked. I don't remember where it was. It was like one stoplight town, and they had storms that were going over their area at the time. And when the broadcast started, their power went out. And so everybody thought it was legitimately real in this small town because there's a picture of somebody like in their doorway with a shotgun, like because they thought it was an actual attack from aliens. A small town of like maybe 20 people. But yeah, an electric storm went over and knocked their power out just as the broadcast started.
Right.
So they actually thought it was real.
Well, the votes are in, Frank.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress, everybody. We're gonna get the flow going here. It was Frank's first time. I kind of just threw him to the wolves. I didn't want to give him too many notes going into it,
the wolves.
just to see how he would do. And he's really good at getting the information. You just got to work on the presentation a little bit, and we're gonna start knocking it out of the park here.
I want to know what happened to the mother. Wait, go back to that. Go back to that.
What mother?
You see that?
Oh, in this?
You see, look underneath where it says her mother slain. And then on the other one, it just says mother. I want to know what
Hundreds of
happened to the
excited
mother.
Chicagoans were deceived and I don't know.
No. The headline. See it right
Yeah,
there?
right here. Her mother slain.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to look up the Chicago Herald and Examiner from Halloween 1938.
Maybe the aliens killed somebody's mother.
The aliens, guys. It's the aliens, all right?
The two from The Simpsons.
You don't remember the names?
No, I just remember them green.
Kang and Kodos, dude. Kang and Kodos.
I want to say kudos.
Things you did not know about Monsters, Inc. It was released November 2nd, 2001. Now, the movie made $579.7 million at the box office on a budget of $115 million. Obviously, you have James P. Sullivan, a.k.a. Sully, right there. You got Mike Wazowski right there. Now, the original voice for Sully was going to be Bill Murray.
All right.
The studio liked him. He tried out for the role. Then they couldn't get a hold of him. So they took his silence as no, and then they moved on, and ultimately the
He
role
went to
went
go
to
do Garfield.
John Goodman. He went on to go do Garfield. Boo. Her voice actually came from story artist Roy Gibbs's 2.5-year-old daughter, Mary.
Okay.
They originally tried to do the voices themselves, but it sounded weird with an adult. Like they said, it took you out of the movie. They got some original recordings from her, but production for the film took 5 years. So what happened? She grew up, and her speech improved. So the editors, towards the end, they would go in and change what she said to make it sound more broken up.
All right. Instead of just finding another little kid.
They were pot committed on that one. Now, the song that Boo sings while she's on the potty was just gibberish from Mary Gibbs. They didn't want her singing a known song because of copyright issues, and they didn't want to have to deal with that. So they just, had her sing a random song, and she went and came up with what she did while she was on the toilet. Now, the original... Huh?
She said on the toilet.
On the toilet.
Made me laugh for some reason.
The original idea for the film was way different than the one that we actually got. So it was going to follow a 30-year-old man who finds a book of monsters that he drew as a kid. Those monsters start to show up and follow him, and nobody else can see them. Okay. Each of the monsters represents a fear that he never conquered as a child. He begins to become friends with the monsters, but as he starts to conquer those fears, they disappear. And there it is. That's the one that stabs you in the heart, ladies and gentlemen.
I actually saw that in theaters with my little sister.
Monsters, Inc.?
She was like 5. Yeah, I was like, that was actually a pretty decent.
It's a really good movie. I really, really enjoy Monsters, Inc. Also, you'll notice, I think this was the first time that they were ever able to really digitize hair.
Really?
I mean, obviously, there had been sort of other renditions of it, but this one, they had supercomputers working on this stuff over at Pixar. Now, the movie also won Randy Newman his first Oscar with If I Didn't Have You.
Right foot, left foot, right foot.
And finally, more often than not, voice actors record by themselves, but Billy Crystal, he didn't like that. So they ended up doing it together. Crystal said, I did the first 2 sessions alone and I didn't like it. It was lonely and frustrating. Goodman added, and then John Goodman would add later on, when Billy and I got together, the energies just went through the roof.
Oh yeah, feed off people.
Exactly. It's one thing I never quite understood is having to voice something that is with nobody else there. All right, so here's the quiz. So ladies and gentlemen, in the YouTube chat, you are more than welcome to chime in on this quiz as well. So it's got the year, and then all we have to do is punch in the actual Pixar movies. So we just got to name 28 Pixar movies. Are you ready, Frank?
Sure, let's do it.
So obviously you have Toy Story.
Yeah.
You have Toy Story 2. This is going to be 5 of them right here.
Yeah.
Toy Story 3.
You got Nemo.
Hold on. Story 4. Finding Nemo.
Monsters Inc. You just did.
Monsters Inc. Monsters University.
Yeah.
Oh, The Incredibles.
Right. And Incredibles 2.
Yep. Incredibles 2. What other
What was that? What's the Marvel one they did with the balloon hero?
With the balloon hero?
Or the robot that looks like a balloon?
I don't know, but there's Up. Oh, no, that wasn't Pixar. I don't think it was. You talking about Big Hero 6? I don't think that was Pixar. That's just a Disney movie.
Oh, okay.
And of course, now I'm blanking on Pixar movies. So start listing them in the chat.
Up.
I already put Up.
Finding Nemo, or no, Finding Dory. Yeah, Finding Dory.
What was their second movie? Oh, it was not Ants. What was the other one? Bug's Life.
Bug's Life. Yeah. Bug's Life.
After The Incredibles in 2006. What did they come? What were these other movies? I like how I know this crap, and then the second we have to actually put it on a quiz, I completely blank on all of it.
Yeah, I wasn't really a Pixar. I went with
Coco. Don't forget Coco.
to a few of them with my sister when she was younger, but nothing after that.
Cars 2,
Cars 2,
Cars
Cars
3. Was Planes Pixar?
Yeah, that was one of them.
They don't have it listed here. That
believe
movie
so.
sucked.
Yeah.
Oh, Inside Out. Good call, Donnie. Inside Out and Inside Out 2. Oh, Vero
Red?
came in with Cars at the end there. What's that?
What was the Red movie or whatever that just came out? That it went to Disney Plus with the giant red panda.
Turning Red. I'm trying to think of Pixar Pier and the movies that are out there, and the stuff that they have.
50 seconds.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some that we just go, how the heck did we forget those?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Brave. That was Pixar.
Brave.
For some reason I thought that was only Disney. Like I know that
Oh,
Frozen is not.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, right. And
Wreck-It
oh,
Ralph.
that wasn't Pixar. That wasn't Pixar. That was just Disney.
Was it? Oh.
Elemental. Ugh.
I heard that was supposed to be pretty good.
Oh, Soul.
Right.
What other Pixar movies have come out recently? We're not gonna get this.
Yeah.
We are terrible at this. I should turn in my Disney
kids. I don't know.
God.
Pootie Tang.
Huh? Pootie Tang. And what did we miss? Oh,
Wall-E.
How did I miss Wall-E? God damn it.
The others,
Ratatouille and Wall-E, I should not have missed. Especially considering Wall-E's one of my favorites. The Good Dinosaur.
The others, I don't really know.
Yeah, The Good Dinosaur, I understand not getting. Onward was okay. Luca, I never finished, and I never even saw Lightyear.
Yeah. We nailed all the ones except for Wall-E. Wall-E's the one that people probably give us crap for.
Yeah, we suck. All right. Let me do a little quick little reset right here. Things you did not know about American History X. Edward Norton, Edward Furlong. I just realized they're both named Edward right now. So it was released October 30th, 1998. Had a budget of $20 million. Not a big moneymaker. It made $23.9 million. Didn't even make $4 million at the box office. Now, the movie was director Tony Kaye's debut film. And he tried to distance himself from the movie. Have you ever heard of the pseudonym Alan Smithy?
Alan Smithy? No.
So that's a pseudonym that's used by directors who want to disown their own projects. Like if somebody comes in and changes it to how they don't like it.
Not mine.
And they're like,
it's
washing
Alan.
my hands of this hot garbage. But there's a stipulation with using the Alan Smithy pseudonym. And that is you can't openly bash the film.
Okay.
This dude obviously could not stop. He could not keep his mouth shut. So the Directors Guild of America rejected the request to use it. Now, the story is partly based on reformed skinhead Frank Mink, who has a book titled Autobiography of a Recovering Skinhead.
Huh?
Joaquin Phoenix apparently turned down the lead role of Derek Vineyard, and Edward Norton was cast without Kaye's approval.
Okay.
Norton got friggin' yoked for this movie, dude.
Yeah, I remember when he takes his shirt off in that one scene. That dude, yeah, he method actor.
I was gonna choose a picture like when he's either playing basketball or when he was out with the scene where he ends up going to jail, where he doesn't have a shirt on, but he's got a giant swastika on his chest, and I'm like, pass on that. I don't need to be broadcast. I had Facebook took down a video that I did about Hitler's birth certificate, and all it was talking about is that it took like 11 years for them to officially like sign off on the birth certificate. That was it. They took it down. I don't know why. I was just proving he was dead. Now 25 pounds
of the year.
25 pounds of muscle is what Norton packed on for this movie.
So he weighed 155 pounds.
Apparently. I mean, there's roles. He's scrawny, man.
Yeah, he's a small dude.
He was nominated for the best actor Oscar, but he lost out to Roberto Benigni for Life is Beautiful.
Yeah. running down, up and down the aisles, kissing everybody. What is?
Norton reportedly took 1/5 of his normal $1 million salary at that time, and he passed on Saving Private Ryan.
Who was he gonna play? Ryan?
Yeah, he was going to be Private Ryan.
Oh,
Now, the diner that Danny and Derek go to has been used in a ton of other movies. It's called Johnny's Coffee Shop Restaurant. Thank you, movielocations.com for that picture.
1960s. Johnny.
It's the same diner in The Big Lebowski.
All right.
It's also the same diner that was used in Reservoir Dogs.
All right. It's a famous diner.
It's a very famous diner. I believe it's no longer operating, but they do lease it out for movies to still film there. I think they still do.
Special events.
And finally,
It's
there
on
was a
Hollywood.
documentary made by Kay, the director, that covers the film's controversy and the issues that he had with the studio and Edward Norton's final cut. Like, the final cut of the movie was Edward Norton's.
Okay.
But that documentary has never been released.
Was
Donnie's asking, wasn't that also in Pulp Fiction? I wasn't able to confirm that. I was not able to confirm whether or not that was the diner from Pulp Fiction.
Wasn't Beverly D'Angelo his mom in that movie? From,
Yes.
The American.
And
That was such a weird
you want to
turn.
talk about heroes and villains? The dad from Boy Meets World
Yeah.
was the dad. All right, where? Oh, God bless it. I just lost the
Copyright.
No, I lost.
Your marbles.
No, I lost the damn quizzes.
Yeah.
So bear with me here for a moment. Frank, entertain the
Sparkle.
audience.
We'll see. Normally when I read stuff, I don't have to read from my screen. Well, that's not true because I read things from my screen at work. I just don't read them to people. I only read them to myself. So,
This is going swimmingly.
well, I'm just thinking back to like when I would read as a kid because we had people in our class that were like really like durders and could not read. And it was always one of those things when you're a kid, like you're scared to read in front of people. But after hearing a lot of kids that I grew up with when they tried to talk, it made me more confident in myself because I was like, holy crap. Like they can't even pronounce a sentence to, get a sentence together. And
I'm not an
I
idiot.
was like, you know what? Watch this. I'll cruise through 2 paragraphs for you. Bam. Let's get this knocked out the ballpark, baby.
All right, we were gonna do. I think here. We were gonna do the 10 movies, right, for Edward Norton.
Yes, we were.
All right, so it's gonna come up with a list of multiple movies, more than 10, and we have to guess which ones Edward Norton was in. Are you ready,
Very
Frank?
Old bat. Yeah. Sorry.
We got 60 seconds. Here we go. He was obviously in American History X.
They gave us the copy protected content.
What? Oh God!
It
how?
just threw it up right when you hit the
Oh
button.
my
It just threw it
God.
up.
All right, hold on.
They nailed
Dude,
you, sir.
there's nothing copyright with what we're doing. All right, hold on.
Edward Norton owns everything. He's not letting you do anything unless he gets paid. Baby.
hold on.
I had one for Jerry Olbrich that you could do his movies. I can only think of Dirty Dancing.
What the hell's that?
Besides Jerry Olbrich, he was the guy he was the detective in Law and Order. He was the father in Dirty Dancing.
Oh
that
yeah,
didn't
yeah, yeah.
want.
Crap, hold on.
I can't think of any other movies that he was in, unless you go back into like the 60s and 70s, maybe.
Deactivate
He was
that.
good on. He was good on.
That.
He was the only actor that from Law and Order either was not killed off by something or like made to look bad when they left the series. They like basically like gave him a respectful leave, because most of the time when people leave that series, they turn dirty and become a bad cop or a bad whatever, or they get killed. In Law and Order, they're like, all right, you're gonna leave? Screw it.
Are the Sporkle ads triggering something?
Hey man, everything gets triggered these days.
Oh, I'm gonna mute the sites. There's nothing. There shouldn't be anything on here that would trigger that. All right, hold on here. I appreciate your yeah. These ads are just beyond ridiculous.
Maybe it was an
man.
ad
Holy
that did.
crap. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that I'm like I just said. I own up the ads.
I wasn't really paying attention.
So Donnie, going back to Pulp Fiction, not Pulp Fiction. The diner in the 1994 movie Pulp Fiction was filmed at Holly's.
Doing it again.
It's got to be. It's got to be. Shit. This sucks. It's got to be Sporkle.
Oh, well.
It's got to be the ads on Sporkle.
Damn you, Sporkle!
So does this mean I'm gonna have to go in and pay for the ad-free version? Which
It is now 5-5 in the World Series, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh
The
shit!
Dodgers,
Really?
Dodgers had a 5-run inning. It is the bottom of the sixth.
We're gonna have to hurry up and wrap this goddamn live
5-5.
stream up because I want to get going there. All right, so no more Sporkle tonight, I guess. Shit, that's
5 Sporkle. Sounds like an alien from some planet.
All right, there we go.
I
We're
got
back.
a Sporkle.
All right, moving on. I guess no more Sporkle.
Moving on.
You guys will have to just
Check.
deal with that. There we
Take
go.
69.
Things that you did not know about Thor Ragnarok. It was released November 17th, 2017. It made $865 million at the box office on a $180 million budget. Now, a few different directors were considered for the movie. Obviously, ultimately, it went to Taika Waititi. A few different directors include Ruben Fleischer, who did Zombieland and Venom, Rawson Marshall Thurber, who did Dodgeball and We're the Millers, and Rob Letterman, who did Shark Tale and Detective Pikachu.
Okay.
The
I
movie
think they made the right choice.
does take a lot of its storylines from Planet Hulk in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you will notice Jamie Alexander is not in Thor Ragnarok, and that was because of a scheduling conflict with
Right.
her shooting Blind Spotting.
That was a good series for like the first year, and then it just crapped out.
Odin's death was also vastly different in the original script. He was going to be a vagrant in New York, just kind of wandering around, but Waititi didn't like the tone that this would, didn't like the tone of this send-off, so he reshot the sequence. Now, footage from that New York version did appear in the trailer.
Yeah, that's what threw everybody off, because it was, she breaks Milnor in the alley, and yeah, he's like hanging out in that alley and stuff, and then the next thing you know,
what's the name of the hammer?
Milnor. Milnor.
So, in actual Norse mythology, and even in the comics, Hela is Loki's daughter.
Okay. Well, it wouldn't have been more, wouldn't have been as interesting.
Even in the case, see, I thought I recognized your delicate touch about him, daughter. Be careful how you speak to me, father. The patience of Hela is not without limits.
It's kind of weird how they set it up, because they also kind of set her up to where she was supposed to be like deaf, and the whole thing would have like intertwined with Thanos, because Thanos in the comics was like obsessed with theft. Didn't we
find out that was who Aubrey Plaza's playing in Agatha all along?
Yeah, she's playing Death in All About Agatha.
All About Agatha, that's it. That's been pretty good, by the way. The last few episodes, and it wraps up today, I believe. All right, and finally in the comics, the Grandmaster, that's him. He's blue. But Waititi did not want to have that because he felt that it would take away from the performance of the great Jeff Goldblum. And of course, he's also the brother of Benicio del Toro's The Collector.
I think I remember when that trailer came out for that, and you had I almost said Van Halen. You had
Eruption.
You had Led Zeppelin playing in the background, and I was like, "Oh hell, this might be good," because the previous two Thors. The first one was it was okay. The second one was just what the hell was that? And so I'm glad they went in a different direction. But then Love and Thunder just completely fell off the damn cliff. It was just too hokey dokey funny.
So apparently one of the ways that Taika Waititi got the director's role of Thor Ragnarok was he created sort of a reel of other movies compiled together. And he had it to the tune of Led Zeppelin, which ultimately, obviously, Immigrant Song ended up in the trailer. What was that? How'd that go? All right. Final thing here as we get ready for Halloween. Movie draft time.
Movies.
And we're doing slasher movies, ladies and gentlemen, slasher movies. And since our guest picker, Donnie, got to do his picks first, Frank will get to go first this time. And then we'll go with Donnie's picks. And then we'll go with my picks. So, Frank, what is your first choice for slasher movies? We're trying to build the ultimate triple feature.
Coming out of the box hot. So I'm going with one that I've actually seen before, and that's American Psycho.
He's going American Psycho, ladies and gentlemen. By the way,
you ever listen to Genesis?
I didn't go to a ton of effort when it came to the movie posters on this, because a lot of them are either sequels or remakes or like a whole boatload of different things. So if you choose like Halloween and it's Rob Zombie's Halloween, you're going to get the original poster just because. All right, but you go American Psycho. Donnie, we move over to his list. Donnie is going with the OG Friday the 13th.
The one that killed Kevin Bacon.
All right. And for myself, I was kind of hoping one of you guys would take one of these other movies here. But I am going to start with the movie that sort of, I don't want to say reinvented the genre, but kind of got people back into it. Okay. Scream. We've been watching that here. My kid and I, we've watched Scream. We watched Scream 2. We watched Scream 5, I think is what it was. Which, by the way, I mean, it's all right. It's not super fantastic. Now, my next choice is going to be a movie that was highly, highly anticipated. Because everybody would always have that conversation, who would win in a fight? Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, wow.
I remember seeing this in the theater, and quite frankly, I thoroughly enjoy this movie.
That had been the only one.
You know what? And I'm fine with that. Let's go back to Donnie here. We're going to see Donnie's getting the OGs in there, man. He's going with the original A Nightmare on Elm Street,
where they killed off Johnny Depp, who didn't use his real name in the movie.
All right, Frank, we are back to you, and you get to go back to back, my man. You guys currently have American Psycho. What are the other two you want?
I'm gonna go with the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I just remember. Yeah, that one was kind of freaky. Even though I think you could honestly outrun that fat porky guy if you ever got away.
You mean Leatherface?
I think he'd give up. I think he'd give up after about like 50 feet because he didn't seem like he really ran a lot. I think he'd probably run out of stamina and energy pretty quick. So.
All right, and what's your third slasher movie?
My 33rd. I don't know, man. I'm not a big slasher guy. I would say would Killer Clowns be considered slasher, but that's not really slasher.
Not really.
They made everybody into cotton candy.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of cotton candy in that one.
Just a lot of cotton candies.
I mean, you can go with the old reliable. You can just pick Halloween.
Yeah, well, no, let's just go with the Halloweensies.
I'm glad that you really stuck to your convictions. Yeah, fine. Why the hell not? Just go with Halloween. The original.
Halloween.
Now, do you know which Halloween did not feature Michael Myers?
Was it the third one?
Season of the Witch. They tried to move away from the Michael Myers storyline. It bombed, so then they went back to Michael Myers.
Have you ever seen how like the Halloween universe is explained? It's like there's the first one and the second one, then the third one's down here, then the fourth one's like its own movie, and it goes to and it's like they're all just completely separate from each other. And then like maybe the sixth one comes back to like the first two. It's pretty interesting how they did not keep a direct timeline.
So yet again, Donnie getting his top 3 on the board because he is going with Hellraiser for his third choice.
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser. Now, I do have to point this out because I try to not look at Donnie's lists when he sends them to me because I don't want it to affect how I would actually I don't want it to be like, oh, he's going to pick this one next, so I got to pick it now. Like I don't want that to happen. But I did have to take a peek a little bit here because there's a movie he put on there.
Candyman?
No, although we do have Candyman.
That bee in the eyeball always weirded me out.
Motel Hell. He had this one on his list, and I had to include it. I had to include it.
People are gonna really get on us if somebody didn't go with the original Psycho.
Well, spoiler alert, that is my third choice.
There you go. We saved it, everybody. Shut up.
Because here are some of the other honorable mentions. Is that we do have like the 90s flicks, late 90s, early 2000s. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Ugh. How'd that go?
That's my Conan O'Brien.
We also have Friday the 13th Part 2. That's the one where actually it's Jason. It's not his mom.
And he has that like face.
Yeah. Here's one for Frank, Urban Legend.
Yeah, Urban Legends 2 was the one I saw.
And how did that work out for you?
It was I checked out after about 10 minutes.
I completely forgot Lex Luthor's in that movie.
Yeah, I don't remember the rest of it. I know Joey Lawrence was in it, but I checked out after the first kill. I was like, this is not my thing.
You also have Scream 2, fantastic movie. Watched that one with my daughter over the weekend as well. Because it did such a good job of explaining sequels, but following some of the rules, but like kind of laughing at some of the, at some of them. What?
Would Hollow's the Johnny Depp Sleepy Hollow, would that be considered a slasher?
I don't think so.
I mean, he's slashing heads off left and right, cutting people up.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The other one
sounded like Jason.
The other one that I was going to pick, this was going to be the next one on my list, was Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Because remember, this is the one that kind of broke that wall where it was Freddy had come into the real world.
Is that the one where like they show him being born and like the baby baby Freddy like runs away from when he's like being born?
God, I can't remember.
I was in high school and I remember like they were playing one of those Freddy movies and I was like sleeping and I woke up in the middle of that scene. And I was like,
that's what you woke up to?
Yeah, it's her having her kid. It was like in a dark, like dingy hospital and the thing just blasting out, just like the alien, blasting out of the vagina. Running away.
I get them all jumbled together. I used to have the box set of Nightmare on Elm Street, and I remember, I think it was when I was living in Florida, and I went boom, 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 and I watched all of them all the way through, and so I kind of get them mixed up. I do remember. I think it's, was it Dream Warriors?
Dream Warriors.
Was that? It's the third one, and I think that's the one where he comes out of the TV, because I remember I used this clip a lot on 93 Rock down in Florida, and it's where his arms bust out of the TV and he goes, "Welcome to prime time, bitch," and he like oh, that was fantastic. All right, so that's our triple features for slasher movies. Frank has American Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Halloween, the OG. Donnie going OG as well with Friday the 13th, A Nightmare on Elm Street, and Hellraiser. And I have Scream, Freddy vs. Jason, and Psycho. Now, the thing that I like to do is I put this stuff up on my social medias, at The Real Brandalorian, Instagram, Facebook. Now I'm back on TikTok too, by the way. You can follow me over there. But I'll put up a post that just shows the three, like each of our triple features. And I just pose the question, who picked the best triple feature? Of this one, I am willing to bet most people choose Donnie's.
Probably because the old school.
I always feel really strong about my choices, but this one, are like these movies I really enjoyed, but I don't think that they have enough mass appeal for people to be like, yeah, I would totally watch Scream and then Freddy versus Jason and Psycho. Where I think Donnie's is kind of almost the essentials. I mean, obviously, you know, he didn't get Halloween because that one was already picked, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but with Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street, and Hellraiser, that's like boom, boom, boom. Like those are three of the top ones.
The
Right there.
Essentials. That was a Pixar movie too.
So, oh, by the way, that movie, The Incredibles, was originally supposed to be called The Invincibles. There's another movie factoid for you. So make sure you're checking that out. Tomorrow is when that is going to drop on my social medias. I also isolate these clips and then I upload them separately to YouTube. So make sure that you guys are going and watching that stuff. As always, make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the channel. Like it. Make sure you click that bell too. I was talking to my buddy Danny last weekend. We were all getting drinks at the bar, and he told me, he's like, dude, I'm watching all of your stuff. I love watching your things you didn't know. He's like, but I never know. I never get the notification when you go on live. So make sure that you guys are clicking those that bell and everything, so that you're getting those notifications, so that you know when we're live. 3 different videos drop every single day, at least 3 video shorts/reels. That's on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Also, every morning, one of these isolated clips from the live stream gets posted every single morning, plus all of the extra content. There's a boatload of things that we got going on here. So if you want to help support the channel, thumbs up always help. Follow me everywhere. And also, if you could spare a little change, Javi did, Mr. Bugsta. 99 cents a month. That's channel supporter. If you do that, reach out to me and give me your address, because we have sticker packs for people who are channel supporters. And then on top of that, for $4.99 a month, you can be a Memberlorian. And with that, you not only get the stickers, but you also get your choice of t-shirt that has one of those designs on it. Sizes aren't completely guaranteed, but I got a lot of these shirts, which, by the way, I do have to get back to Anna, because she wanted me to, she wanted to buy a couple of shirts so that she could kind of cut them up and stuff. So
slash them.
if you guys want to do that, make sure you guys are helping out. But again, always a thumbs up and word of mouth. Let people know, like, hey, there's this bald dipshit that talks about random things that you didn't know on his YouTube channel. Because that's basically all the comments that I get on Facebook. Like, honest to God, I get boatloads of comments of people just pissing and moaning about, like, if I post a video and if there's any way that you could make it political, holy fuck.
Yeah.
It, like,
You know
not
what
like,
you're doing there.
I don't, like, I'm not sure how, I'm not a liberal. I'm also not a conservative. Like, I'm really about as in the middle as you can go. But
like most of America,
either side, like, there's been videos and things that I've done where people call me a libtard or a cuck or you know, pretty much whatever, like the whole spectrum, man. Like, I get called all of it. So
find anything to make anything political. You could just show up and say pickles, and they would start arguing left and right about how it's
about
either
pickles,
conservative
dill,
or liberal
sweet,
or something.
Are we talking bread and butter?
Pickles.
Bread and butter. Bread and butter.
Women
bread and butter.
shouldn't have pickles. This will be the first comment.
On that note, have yourselves a fantastic rest of your night. We'll be back here Wednesday night, every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific time. We usually play some games like Jackbox and stuff. Unfortunately, this live stream did go too long because I had to fix all the stupid fucking technical issues. But we're going to get all that stuff ironed out, and we're going to be back next week. Also, by the way, for the YouTube polls, if you're just joining us now, I put up a poll every single day on my YouTube channel. If you ever have an idea of a question with the, like, potential selections, hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, or, you know, wherever you can message me, because I'll more than happily put that up for you, and then we'll talk about that coming up on the next live stream. So I'm going to say